The athlete I am traveling thousands of miles to meet is preparing for his first ever Mr. Olympia competition. All eyes will be upon Kai as he takes the stage against the most formidable physique competitors in the world. This is the contest that launched the career of Arnold Schwarzenegger. This footage created my first DVD. It's a fascinating subculture.
I remember Kai when
He had sweep on his quads and little waist and a big back. And he posed way different than anybody else.
Despite all of his success, it is clear that he is not taking the Olympia lightly and is grateful for Oscar's presence.
Man, honestly, we just got so much riding on this part of it. You know, I depend a great deal on Oscar because honestly, this is new territory even for me.
You know, he's more really like a brother, like a younger brother, you know, and I care and I love him very much. You know, my mother considers him like a son. You know, my children love him. My wife, just, you know, just amazing. Just whether it was bodybuilding or not bodybuilding, you know, we have the same relationship. It just happened that bodybuilding connected us.
Everybody on a team has an assignment. A successful team, I think, is successful because the people that they have delegated to carry out specific tasks, they're doing it and not falling short.
I do need for him to take this to the ultimate level and totally devote himself 100% physically, mentally, and spiritually to the task at hand without, you know, involving, you know, any other things, any other elements that come into that it can easily come and interrupt. So it's about being totally focused, you know, and dedicated and not allow anything to come in and take any energy away. That's how it's gonna be, you know.
Coming up after this short break, Kai talks about the necessity of rage, and Oscar outlines his plan for success.
You can't be worried about your wife, your girlfriend. You can't be worried about your bills. You know, you have to focus, you know, on the enemy and attack and destroy. And this is the goal that we have, and this is what we have to do.
There's a dark side to Kai's philosophy as well. I find out about it when I ask him about Ronnie Coleman.
Ronnie Coleman to me is definitely someone that, worthy of a tremendous amount of respect. I think the real Ronnie Coleman, though, probably will definitely never be privileged enough to know. Where does a man have to go in order to put 800 pounds on his back and say, I'm gonna squat down to the floor and stand up as many times as I can before, I pass out or, blow something out or, just the rage that would have to be there, inside, that, to begin to open up and talk about,
It comes from rage?
This dude put 800 pounds on his back, he squatted down to the floor as many times as he could before he threw up. You tell me, where does this guy have to go? I said, there's violence in there, there's rage in there. You say, well, you ask me, is it violent? Is there rage? I'm saying I believe there has to be, because I just don't, until you try to put 805 pounds on your back and squat down to the floor, then you realize, I really there's something else that has to be motivating me to do that, because there's no way I can do that and say I'm a nice guy. I might be a nasty motherfucker behind the scenes, and I might be ready to really be able to call on that when I need to, and that's what makes me proficient at my job. Should it be being a linebacker? Should it be being a man outside on the line fighting for the country? Or, should it make me a good cop? Or would it make me, a good athlete right now? I think there's a psychological profile that I think, if you really explore it, it probably would alarm people to think about, who this guy must really be. Because you cannot be just a very simple person to explain, a simple person to understand, with that kind of ability.
This is the goal that we have, and this is what we have to do. It's like a camp. It's more like a boxer's training camp. You get up, you have the meal, your cardio, your training. It becomes away from distractions, away from drama, away from stress, and just focusing on the task at hand.
Mr. Olympia is the place where the biggest, the baddest, and the best IFBB professional bodybuilding champion of the world sits on his throne. When you aspire to become that, to prove that your best efforts can be met with the honor such as that title, it's a giant step. It's a giant step.